Welcome everyone to the 171st weekly live stream.
Woo! So many.
I
So
know.
many.
It's forever. I can't wait till our back pay comes in. It'll be great.
I know. I think we've gotten a whole penny in ad revenue since we started. A
Nope,
whole
nope, because
penny.
I haven't signed up for
No?
AdSense.
Shh, don't tell them.
Oh. We
We
did
can
get
pretend.
£5. Or €5? £5? Yeah.
Where did you get the £5?
It was shipped to me from, who was it? Who was it? Chumpy. No, Crispy. Crispy.
Oh, crispy.
He sent
Bless you.
a picture with the £5 and he's like, I was gonna send you stuff, but shipping's really expensive, so here's £5.
Bless Crispy. Bless his soul.
It's still up on the wall, right beside his picture.
Aw.
There you go. You can all one person who's gonna watch this send Alley Claw 5 whatever unit of money you have in that location.
Make it interesting.
Yeah.
Give me your colorfulest money or your weirdest money.
I mean, if that means going out to a Walmart and buying a stack of Monopoly money,
Yes.
then so be it. Because everyone
Yes.
loses the $5 bills.
I'd prefer maybe like a dollar with a T-Rex on it. That's kind of fun.
Graffiti a bill.
Yes.
Try and draw Celestia's face on above whoever. Who's on your $5 bill?
Lincoln.
Lincoln?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Celestia Lincoln.
Celestia with a beard. Got it.
And a top hat.
Alright, so as you can hear, we got Alley Claw today.
Hello, and of course we got the Living Dead.
Where?
All of them. All one of him.
Hi. Alright, let's just hop right in here. First left corner. It's a pony. There we go.
Pony.
It is
Colorful pony.
by Min Minor Mini Minor Li. Sure, Mini Minor Li. Pretty rough case. Pretty rough because I'm getting into drawing. I don't know what I was doing with the wings. Thought it might look cool, although it doesn't though. Anyway, here it is. Wow, I gotta get the speech thing going.
You've been drinking too much. You
This
gotta lay off
Coca-Cola,
that.
man. It's
Well, I mean, so the first thing I gotta say has to do with their comment on about they tried it because they thought it would be awesome and it didn't turn out so great for them. You know what? That's awesome. That's literally what art is all about. Just try stuff that you think will look cool, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and move on. You know? So like, kudos. Good. Keep doing that. Keep trying things.
I hear Shakira wrote a song about that.
Oh my God.
Try
You gonna sing it?
everything. No, because we'll get banned.
That's right. They're after us. They got our number.
Yeah, as Ali said, give it a go. If you think it's going to be cool, this is the best part of art. You get to just do it, and if it doesn't work so well, whoop-de-doo, you're down a picture. Now you got to get another 9,900 out. You know, it's fine. Experiment, try something.
Not everything needs to be a masterpiece. Just have fun. That's how you get the bulk of your learnage. Just by doing.
So I've seen this pose before, and I'm pretty sure I know where you got this reference from. Referencing is very, very good. Feel free to heavily use references. I just highly suggest you source the references from a reputable source, because back alley references, bad choice. What I mean by that is Hasbro marketing team. They do not seem to
Yeah.
communicate well with the rest of Hasbro as far as what a pony looks like. Go
No.
my best suggestion for you to go harvest your references, go turn on an episode of it from your local file share, YouTube, Vimeo, Netflix, however you're watching this. Turn on an episode, watch, and take screenshots. The screenshot doesn't have to be exactly your horse. That's fine. You're using it as a reference, a guide to sort of figure out the rest of the horse. You're going to take it from the show, because the show's great. Now, at moments of the show, in more than just single moments, quite often in the show they'll stretch out the characters and manipulate them in ways that generally don't make sense for a drawing. But
For
if
the
you
purpose of the animation.
yeah, if you take a few screenshots, especially between movements, like whether they're standing still or getting ready to move, they'll be more within their normal proportions for you.
Hmm.
You can
And
also go
the
look.
other,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other thing is like, besides the show, and of course the movie has some great stuff too. Look at anything from real life horses to other shows that do horses to people who draw fan art. These are all references, all of them.
Yes.
So like, open your mind, open your Google browser, type in whatever, find some references.
Open up your eyes. Eyes.
Oh no. It's the musical episode today. We're just gonna keep quoting songs.
But only in speech. We won't actually sing them. We'll
No.
just sort of.
They'll copyright strike us
Yeah.
otherwise. um,
So well, I would throw a bunch of red lines over this. I don't want to. I want to see you go through a few more pictures, start using your references. Go check out on our sidebar. You'll see in big bold letters beginner guides. Click on that. Read through some of the referencing and comparing guides, some of the measuring and comparing. There's a few guides on building up limbs and using your references. All very useful guides for beginners, pros, literally everyone, because you need to get those basics down to improve. And don't expect them to come instantly, because holy cow, I've been drawing for I don't know how long, and I still fail all the time on the basics, but it's fine. Failure's allowed.
I mean, everyone does. There's no such thing as perfect art. It's just like the natural process.
Allie, what's on the back of a pencil?
An eraser
And why would they put that there?
to fix your mistakes.
Ooh. So make mistakes. Get dirty.
That's why they sell like extra erasers on the side, because they know.
Because I know it's never enough.
There's never enough.
So, my assignment for you, if you're even listening to this, go draw 10 more pictures. I don't expect you to hammer them out within a day, because that would be insane. Cray even. But yeah, go draw 10 more pictures. Come back with your 10th one and say, this is the points or the elements on it that I need some help with. Come back with specific questions and we'll give you more specific answers. The reason I want you to do that is because it's going to help you get more critical of your picture. And when you're more critical of your picture, we can help further address those elements that you're critical of. You can also then use the fact that you're more critical of your own art to work to create your own iterative cycle of improvement.
Yeah. And like these pictures don't even have to be full finished pictures like the one here. They could just be sketches too. Don't feel like you need to create like a full piece for like every time. Do stuff, break it down. Just draw a face, just draw a wing, just draw a hoof, you know? Just feel free to work with it.
Draw 40 wings, all attached to each
40
other.
wings. Yeah, yes. Just one ball of wing. I'm sure someone's done it.
I'm
The
sure.
internet.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Otherwise, keep drawing.
Just gonna have to zoom out a little because it's kind of tall.
Oh, yes.
All right, so Vision 65.
Nice.
It kind of sounds like they're, when you play a voice backwards.
Yeah. So, view Rastuber.
Yeah. Which is obviously Art Raptor.
Obviously. That's actually a really great name, though. He should think about rebranding.
Well, I don't think he's going to take that suggestion.
No. Nope.
All right, so this is their progression over 5 months or so.
Nice.
So we were having a little chitter chat about this because often what we'll do is we'll grab the images and have a discussion on what we think about them, where we think the person needs to sort of examine, give us a sort of brief heads up before we hop into this blindly. Like crazy people planning ahead. And during our discussion, we were actually having a somewhat difficulty identifying which one is the 5 months past. Now, don't take this as an offense at all. The reason we're having an issue is because there's elements on both that are very obviously improved, or that we find to be more pleasing for us, which makes it very hard to judge which one is the newer one. We'll often see this in our own works where we'll be focusing on one area and we'll let the other areas sort of, I know how to do an ear like that, so I don't need to recreate. I don't need to spend the time focusing on that. And it'll look like it'll look worse than the previous types.
Yeah. It's almost like because I know a lot of people, when they think improvement, they think of like a vertical climb, but sometimes with art, improvement also means like a horizontal change. So like what Living Dead was saying, we try different things. You know, maybe I don't want to change the ear, maybe I want to do something completely different. And 5 months later, I'm doing this ear differently, and it's like, you know what, I liked what I was doing 5 months ago, or I like what I have now, but I want to bring back some other element that I was doing. It's not better or worse, it's different, and that's not necessarily a bad thing at all.
Well said, Allie. Well said.
Woo.
Hello.
Hello.
That was very good, important stuff.
Well, thank you. I Fluffy came.
I was just riveted.
So if we're to take this top one, some of the elements that we found that we really liked were the fluff in the ear. Your fluff in the ear has drastically improved on this top one. Like it's got a lot more character to it. It's got a lot more shape and form. It doesn't look like some felt tossed in there.
Yeah, it feels like not clumps. Clumps sounds like a bad word, but that's what it is, like clumps of hair. When I look at an animal, it's got like these tufts. Tufts maybe is a better word. It's got like nice flowing tufts where it's thick and then gets out thin to the point. And it's got some nice feel to that.
Totally. But then if we're to look down at the bottom one, we were talking about the mane, and there's two ideas. We're actually kind of split on this mane. The bottom mane definitely has a lot more character behind it. Like it gives that magical, watery, floaty feel to it, where it's just sort of like this gaseous blob going around, and it's a lot more interesting to look at. I personally like the top one because it harkens more back to actually being hair while still being the watery blob thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Art's weird like that.
Right? Opinions. Who knew? Who knew opinions would be a thing?
Yeah. We both agreed, though, chest fluff. This chest fluff, much like the ear, was improved when it comes down over here. Now, it doesn't look like the one up here has the fluff, but where you would have generally placed it makes a lot of sense for it not really being heavily put there. There are still elements that I think you can improve on this if we're going to use the top one as our 5-year improvement. The eye placement. Right now you have them stretched very far apart. We can actually see, if I was to zoom in on this one, enhance. We can see the side of your face ends over here, but then your eye falls off of the face. This is, every time I'm looking at this, I'm drawn to how far that eye has slid sideways on the head, and I totally understand why it happened. You've added a sort of painted horse look to it, which is adorable. Love the painted horses.
Yes.
And you've tried to evenly space those. I think the problem is you've taken the eye and you've left it as a flat element as opposed to turning it with the rest of the head. So if you're to go stand at a mirror and go on an angle, you should be able to see your eyes start to actually create the curvature of the side of your head, to an extent, depending if your eyes are recessed heavily or not. But if you're to look at most MLP, when they turn sideways, Their eye is actually the furthest extent to that head. So we can take the curvature of the eye and use that as the side. I'll just chop off a chunk of the eye, basically.
Perspective's weird like that, or at least when you see something from a different perspective than like front on or
Yeah. Now, your top pony here is sort of staring into nowhere land. We got one eye way off over here and one eye going way off over here. Your bottom horse, we're to zoom out and scroll down, she is actually staring at us. Pretty sure it's she. Nice little eyebrow or eyelashes. She's actually staring at us. You've managed to keep her eyes focused towards us, towards more of an object hanging over here, like up at the viewer.
oh look, a nice little sky apple. Delicious, delicious pony snack.
Focusing eyes gets very, very difficult. The only way I've ever found that works for me is I actually hold an object up on the screen or around the screen, wherever they're supposed to be looking. I make sure there's an object in my mind of where they're looking to, so they can try and focus in on it. And usually it's a matter of moving the pupil a few pixels just to sort of align those. Works a lot easier with digital than traditional to try and align eyes.
Yeah, humans are like weirdly sensitive to eyes because like just part of human culture is making eye contact, so we tend to like focus on eyes a lot. So it's just a natural feeling to like notice when eyes are off.
And I think the last thing that sticks out to me that could use a little massaging and caressing, the placement of your other ear. I love that you have two ears. Both of them have two ears. It's great. I think we just based on how far your one ear sticks out, like this thing, it's a Dumbo parachute. Adorable, large, fluffy ears. We should bring that over to the other side. So if her ear is that large, when we draw that head circle, we should be able to see a line across here, and we're going to see your base aligns with that. So we should actually have a fair amount of that ear sticking up over the side here, which is going to pull that ear sideways.
Nice. Yeah, I think that works. And it's the same goes for the bottom one with what you just said.
Yeah. Horse.
What I was drawing at the side was just more on what LD was saying about the eye curving around the face. Like it's something I sort of learned quite early on, because it is a common mistake to draw a head and have like one eye and then have like the other eye like this, but like that's not right because it's too small. As a general rule of thumb, the horizontal directions will be thinner on the further away eye, but the height will still be the same, unless you've got some extreme perspective going on. But then everything needs to be meant to have perspective, not just the eyes. But most of the time, you're not going to have some fisheye thing going on.
Cube face. Rectangular cube face. Meow.
Yo. I actually saw it as like side on, so like this is the nostril, and it's like just adorable.
Oh my god.
Just like a little horse, like triangle horse.
Go horse. Perfect. Menu OC. It is born.
Is it a blockhead?
It's quite the blockhead. Just don't tell him that. He's very sensitive.
All right, let's move on to the last picture. Nope. There we go.
There, it's a mane.
That really is like a little stallion. Oh my god. It just clicked. It's a Trojan horse.
Ah! All right, the
Anyway.
last picture is by Deletrix. Deletrix? Yeah, Deletrix.
Deletrix? Yeah.
A sketch of me. I gotta say, you're quite horse-like.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you have wings.
Yeah, and a horn.
Pegapones. Pegapones are great.
Oh,
Oh wait, they're alicorn, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, though. You know. Wait, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's critique this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, horse. We love OCs. They are fun and playful.
More people should have OCs. Pony OCs, furry OCs, lamp OCs. I have a wall Sona.
I can't
I'm
understand
sorry.
not having an OC.
I need more explanation of this.
So it started out in high school. My friend's a writer.
You were serious about that?
I have picture of said Sona.
Oh my god.
And
We're
she
gonna
would
need this
bounce
submitted.
ideas off me. So I became her wall of idea bouncing, and I made a wall Sona to complement it. I'll pull it up after the stream. You folks just have to join Discord to get in on these shenanigans.
Is there a fanfic for this too?
I wish. Just my really, really poorly drawn wall. I'll find it. It's in here somewhere. I've seen it recently.
A wall can be poorly drawn.
Yep.
Is it just a square?
All right, I'm excited now. So let's talk this picture though.
Yeah. And once we're done critiquing the art, I'll share it. That's
Okay.
what the reward is.
Nice.
Yes.
I see Fluffy is going with those. Hey, Ellie, you want to deal with that wing?
Sure thing.
Oh, the wings, plurals.
Wangs. I mean,
Angulars.
I'm just not gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the wings, definitely a hard angle. So applaud you for doing this. Doing anything from the back and like top view is pretty hard, and I think, like I said, awesome that you're doing it and you're trying it and pushing yourself. As for the wings, the first thing I would say is get references, which I'm gonna do right now. Let's see here. So something, wings have a specific look for the underside and the top side because of the way the feathers are layered. That's the word I was looking for. And right now, it seems a little more like you have how they would be layered on the underside on the top. Just pull up. Let me find a good one. Wings. And I like the fact you're going for a more realistic wing. I find them more appealing than the simple pony wings. Don't get me wrong, simple pony wings are super cute, but something about having those plumages, it's great.
It's the line from the where the hair begins to where the tail begins, going down the spine, so to sort of help map where the pony's going. I never sort of realized that you have those two like very convenient points of reference for a full body pony. Actually, you have the mane coming out here and going out here, and yeah, so I like that you've got this like swishy, windswept thing going on. I just felt like the neck maybe looking a little bit disjointed. So this isn't very good. Actually, it'd probably be better to wrap the mane even more around the shape of the body, like this, just to really accentuate here's the neck and here's the side of the head. My thing keeps changing colors on me.
Oh no.
It always does that. It's like when you switch colors, it like changes colors, and like sometimes it changes the tool, and I don't understand how this program works. So confusing.
Good old draw pile. So, I want to just redact something I said about how because it depends on the bird for some of these wings, where like there'll be super small feathers at the top, and they'll get longer.
Yeah, some have different shapes of wings, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it really depends on what kind of feathers you're going for. But,
Sorry, I went over some of your wing.
oh no, it's fine. I'm still looking at references. Research and references, guys. It's great stuff.
There was a conversation going on in the chat earlier about references and why they're important. And now some people think that it's cheating, and it's not. It's really not cheating.
It's your best friend.
How can we explain this more clearly?
Just gonna draw a ball here. You know what? I'll draw a nice little beam. We'll get the.
A happy little bean.
Happy little beam. say this is the back. Where's the poem? There's the back line. All right. So I'd say your placement is pretty great because usually, like, I like to think of wings being where the shoulder blades will be on a pony, or like even on humans, the shoulder blade, they're kind of like a nice extension. So like here and here. So mythical creatures and wings are weird because you can do the super cute like pony attachments where they're so tiny, or you look at actual mythical drawings of Pegasi and the wings will span like part of the body because it's a horse. It needs a lot of wing to help lift it off the ground. So just kind of finding your comfort zone for what you want to portray. I like to do something in the middle for ponies just to keep it a little cartoony. So maybe like half of it.
Never thought of sort of showing it, the construction like that. It's very interesting.
I mean, I'll admit, I don't normally draw it like that, but just to like show
Yeah.
where it attaches and whatnot. Sorry, I get distracted by Zom. It's very silly here. Back. There we go. I wasn't getting the right feel. So the first thing with wings is they actually have a little bit more segments than people think. It's not just the the V shape. It's kind of like having an elbow. There's a little crook there. And because this is a fun perspective. So you're choosing the difficult perspective here, given the challenge points.
Mm-hmm.
Is this pony, I'm wondering, like turning, or is it just the wind, like itself, ambiently, that's making the mane do that? Because the tail isn't following in any way. And in fact, it's also got sort of a bit of the plushy tail thing going on, rather than being actual hair. But I'm just sort of thinking, like, would it be going in opposition to the mane, like she's turning? Or would it just be the wind? Because I think if you're flying, you're sort of creating a lot, like rather than relying on just like the direction the wind is kind of breezing in, it's more reliant on where you're moving, because that's a lot more, it creates a lot more contrast with the wind, I think. So, given the motion in the pose, I think she's kind of in flight and moving around a lot. So I think the main is probably, thanks computer for reminding me now to get to the critique stream. All my notifications go an hour late. I don't know how exactly, but so I think the tail coming off this way, if this doesn't go to the sort of thing you're trying to go for, then that's fine. It might be kind of difficult to find very specific references of characters moving, but you can look for like flying ponies and other creatures flying that might have hair. Or I don't know, just sort of people turning around in the air after jumping and stuff like that to sort of help get an idea of how hair moves. Or just things being sort of windswept if it is more just like the wind itself. But remember that tails and manes are not just like a mass of fluffy shape like a plushie would be, which is why I said plushie tail. It's they are collections of strands of hair, many strands of hair that are sort of flowing like a river. So I'm sort of trying to show that ebb and flow, as it were. They're all clinging together, but it's not one object.
So
Too much.
I do see a lot of evidence of somewhat of an undersketch on this, but it looks like it might have been not fully explored. I think what would have helped a lot in this picture is doing an undersketch, no need to do any real details. We're talking stick figures for the most part. It really helps place your character so you know how the proportions are sitting.
Yeah,
And then
it helps for so much.
yeah, before you get into the picture, you gotta
Yeah,
lay
it's
that.
not even because people think like, oh, it's for building up the anatomy, but no, it's like it's for, but like you said, before you even get into the picture. And part
Mm-hmm.
like I was just gonna say it as well, like part of like as well as just like the circles and things, part of undersketching that can be used is something called action lines, and I think that could help this here a lot because your pose, your anatomy isn't bad. The posing isn't bad. You've gone for like quite an ambitious pose, but you've made the most of trying to make that work. But you see how like even now like the twist that Ali's got in this sketch coming along, like she hadn't used an action line. Obviously, you watched her draw, but like it's like I could sort of put a pose. That's hard to see. Um, I could put an action line to this like this,
Mm-hmm.
and you could build the body around that. And that's what could work for you to help you sort of twist that shape and really get that the pose have more sort of dynamic movement to it, which is obviously one of the main focuses of this picture, which you've done a good job of doing so far. But I would strongly recommend action lines to you because it would help a lot with you getting these poses down in the future and figuring out how to just add that extra little bit of life and motion to them. So look up online action lines, and you'll find lots of content on how to use them and what they are, and that would be a good step to go to, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. Because I feel like this piece is good, but we could push it so much more with getting that action line in. And like,
Yeah,
it can be several different things. It doesn't just have to be squiggle. It can just be like a nice long curve. It can be like, as long as it flows,
yeah,
it's usually like the best to get any sort of
yeah.
action, especially flight. Flight's so fluid to get
Mm.
that action line in there.
So we can see here when I've drawn this action line is sort of where you want where you're trying to go for, but the body just sort of hangs off it and isn't really following it. Whereas like I don't think we have much layer room left to do much in the way of, there we go. I can use
Mm-mm.
layer 3. I just turn this one. Actually, no, you're not drawing it. Okay. Also, I thought I drew my action line on layer 1, but oh well. I'll just undo a sec. Oh, no, it won't let me. Okay, that's cool. That's good too. Uh,
It's all right. You can just
yeah, just so that
scroll back in the
two.
video.
Yeah. So action line, and then we're gonna go. I'm just gonna do some base sketching. I'm not really gonna follow what you've got on the page. I'm just sort of using the space, if that makes sense. So it's like here's the body. You've got that bean. Okay. So you've got sort of a long proportions here. We can. This is like very rough sketch. I don't really know what's happening with the pose just yet, like the anatomy and stuff. But that's how you work this stuff out. But we can have the legs sort of going this way, perhaps having one sort of crossover like this, and already, and then you can have the who's down here, and already you can see where the action line's coming in and where the body is sort of following that. If I just neaten it up a little bit so you can actually tell for reals what is happening and not through the mess of my drawing. So this is a leg. There's the thigh there, and then there's the leg here. And so you've got like the butt here. And then another leg, yay! And then you've got like the foreleg going down here and coming back up and tucking in real close to the body. Because in flight, they're going to have their legs probably tucked quite close to their body. And then you have quite a long neck, so the head might not need to be this big, but just like a circle to help define it. And then we're going to just work on the proportions and features. Like, okay, here's where the head is coming on. The skull goes up like this, and then the ears here. And so the neck has this twist. So then again, we've got the mane following into this action line as well. But instead of twisting around like this, it follows a little bit of a smoother curve. And you can do that the other if you want to have more of a twist to the body, you can do that and just flip the legs around. But this way sort of shows the action line a little bit better, if that makes any sense. But yeah, look it up online. They can explain it much better than I can. But just as sort of a bit of an example.
All right, are we done on this one then?
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
say
so.
so. And I apologize for like stopping talking about wings while I started drawing the wings. It's I'm not good at talking about it sometimes. You just need to like dig into it, get references, and like keep trying and sketching. Like
Yeah.
you can see how messy these wings were, but I keep going back and erasing and changing and looking at my
I mean,
reference.
ultimately, art is visual, so we talk about it, but like sometimes you just gotta like feel it and have a look and do it.
All right.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry. I just thought of a tip really quick. So, something that really helped me figure out how to get that weird angle of a wing is actually giving the wing a little bit of depth. So that's why I put these like really bold lines right here. I just kind of filled them in to kind of like make a plane, almost like if I just were to make like a cereal box, but like a cereal box of wing. So giving it that depth kind of helped me feel like, okay, I'm looking at it from a slightly side view because like when we tilt
Yeah.
a thin object, it's hard when you're just using lines to like picture, okay, when am I going to start to see the side of it? While wings aren't paper thin, they still have some thickness. So depicting that thickness can really help with pushing angles and seeing it from a different angle itself.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's very important to look at how to sort of understand how to break up 3D shape in your mind.
All right. I think with that we can call it a day. If anyone else has any other art, please submit it now. But based on the number of people watching and the number of people in our chat, I think that's no one.
Gotta tell your friends, bring them to the stream.
Woo.
People watching on YouTube, when can they find our stream, LD, and where? If they're watching on YouTube.
Like 5:30 every Tuesday, 5:30 Eastern Standard
Pacifica?
Time.
Oh, Eastern.
Yeah.
10:30 UTC for those in the UK or Europe. Some places Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do record it on YouTube. You know, this is where you're watching us now, unless if you're in our chat. Anyway, we're gonna call it a day then. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.